with respect to all of that, your intentions and relative to the upcoming candidate search, superintendent candidate search, and can you make any improvements in between teachers and student achievement?
Well, you know, I've been in this role now since January of last year, and I will say this, although I've only been in this role since January of last year, when I was, the 4 years preceding that, my job, everybody thinks of me as the finance guy, and my job title was Chief Financial and Administrative Officer. So the administrative piece, I did a lot of research about what's working in the country, where it's working, why it's working, and what are the strategies that we could potentially adopt here to make our make improvements for our kids. For the prime example I give is the state of Mississippi. 10 years ago, Mississippi was number 50 on the list of all states in student achievement. In 2014, they hired a state superintendent, Dr. Carrie Wright, and she, in 8 years, she just retired from over there June last year. In 8 years, she moved her state from 50th in the nation to 35th. That is tremendous growth. So that proves to me that we have the ability to be able to improve student achievement. And so specifically what I've done with my staff and I, we've contracted with Dr. Wright, and we are actually replicating here in Charleston many of the strategies that she used statewide in Mississippi. So the interim assessments that we just gave in the spring, they're showing positive results. And so based on those results, we expect to have positive improvements when the state tests are given, I think, beginning next week.
Do you plan to be a part of that as a candidate for the superintendent's job?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we all saw what the profile that the board adopted with the BWP associates. So I will put in an application. Well, I'm going to be a part of that or not, I don't know. I've always considered myself a public servant from my military days and from my work with defense contractors and into K-12. And so my work is to make sure that as I get to this point in my life and going through this point in my life, that I adhere to that commitment that I made years and years ago to be a public servant. And so what I'm here to do is to support the growth of our kids in Charleston County.